Hello, class. I just want to make a video of problem number 5. It's dividends on preferred and common stock. So I changed the numbers on here, so be careful with that. This is just as an example. I changed these values. So year 1, as it says right here, 20,000, year 2, 40,000, year 3, 95,000. These are dividends declared. Year 4, 110, year 5, 140, year 6, 175. Okay, so this is kind of what it's going to look like. So to start out, our preferred stock is 25,000. Okay, and then let's see, our common stock is 100,000 shares. Okay, all right. So we remember we got to take care of our preferred stocks first, and then whatever's left we put in common. Okay, we pay out in common stock. All right. So sorry about that. So what I'm going to do here is, so for year 1, we're going to pay out 20,000 shares. Okay, because that's the max. Okay, the max, all we can pay is 20,000. Now the amount that we need to be paying, okay, and I'll calculate that right here. So to calculate the amount we're supposed to be paying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to go 25,000, okay, 25,000 times 0.02%. Here's our 25,000 times 0.02% times however many shares we have, or the value, the par value, times 100. Okay, so the value that we need to pay our preferred stock holders is going to be 50,000. Okay, so of that, so what that means is we're going to have amount in arrears. Okay, so then how we calculate the value in arrears is, and this is the way to see where we're at, because this is how much we need to pay the next year. So I'm going to subtract that 50,000 minus 20. So in arrears, 30,000. So the next year we're going to need to pay 30,000, and then it continues to roll. Okay. All right. So then our max is 20,000. So that means we're not going to pay any common stock. Okay. So no common stock. No common stock. All right. So that's year 1. Let's take a look at year 2. Now, remember, this amount does not change. Okay. So I'm going to copy this down here. Every year we're going to be paying 50,000. Next year, we're going to pay 40,000. Okay, 40,000 in, this is how much was declared. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go, let's see, again, I have my 25,000, okay, times 2% times 100. And again, that's how we get 50,000. All right, so what's going to happen here is I am going to go, so the initial 30,000 is going to be paid. See how 30,000 is going to be paid. Okay. So with that, if 30,000 is paid of this 40, okay, this initial 30 needs to be paid first. All right. That initial 30 needs to be paid first. That means there's going to be a remainder of what is that? 30, there's 30, that means there's going to be 10,000. So we're going to have a remainder of 40,000. And how I'm doing that is I'm going 40. I am taking this 30 that needs to be paid first. I'll just do it right here really quick. So 30,000, and then I'm going to be adding that 10,000 from this value right here. Okay, what's going to be left over? Well, what's going to be left over is 40,000. So that is in arrears. We haven't paid that yet. Okay, so 40,000. Now, common stock, notice how we're in arrears. We maxed out on our 40,000 preferred. That means we don't pay anything in our common stock, not yet. And I just created this arrears column. That way you can see what's going on. I know the show me videos didn't indicate that. Okay. Now, year 3, they declared dividends of 95,000. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to take our 40,000 here. Okay, and then notice how there's a 50,000. Remember how what this the preferred stock is due 50,000. Okay, so with that, we're going to pay this 40,000 plus this 50,000, which is going to equal 50 plus this 40. So we'll get 90,000. Now our arrears is done. Now we take the difference. Okay. Now keep in mind, we've covered the difference here. So whenever we see this, the amount that I'm going to see here is going to be 95 minus 90,000. That overage is what we're going to pay in common stock. Okay, so 5,000 is the difference here. So notice 95 minus 90 is 5,000. Okay, now we're good with there. I'll do these percentages here in just a bit. Just be patient. Let me show you how to do this part first. All right, the next year, 110,000 is declared in dividends, preferred stock. That means, what that means is we're only required to pay 50,000. Okay, so in essence, what happens here, this is going to equal, and I'll just show you that minus this right here, that'll be our common stock. So for this column, it's going to be this 110 minus 50,000. Okay, hang on one second. Actually, that's wrong. The value that we have to pay is, the max is going to be 50,000. Okay, because notice we have nothing in arrears. There's 0 in arrears. So common shareholders will get 50,000 initial. That's why they're preferred, because no matter what, we pay them first. Okay, so then now the common stock holders are going to get 60,000. Okay, nothing in arrears again. All right, so let's go to year 5. So year 5, again, they get 50,000 because that's what is owed, and that's why I calculated that value right here. Now we're going to get the difference. There's nothing in arrears again. We're not, because we've met that amount. So all I'm going to do is equal 140 minus that 50. So now they get 90,000. Okay, next year, year 5, 50,000 again, not 500,000. So then we have nothing in arrears. It's going to equal 175 minus 50,000. So these are my values now. So common stock, notice how no matter what, they're always going to, their preferred stock are always going to get 50,000. Now your common stock is the over, whatever they get over the preferred stockholders. Now we have nothing in arrears. Now the part that you're looking at is going to be this column. Okay, and how do I calculate that column? Well, all I do is I take my value right here divided by my number of shares. So my dividends that were paid divided by the number of shares. So this one is, let's say, let me pull this down because I can't get it. I need to put this as a dollar value. So let me put $1 on it. There we go. Okay, same with this one. It's going to equal 40,000 divided by 25,000. Okay, 1.6, and then it equals 90 divided by 25,000 shares. Okay, equals 50,000 divided by 25,000 shares. Actually, I'm just going to pull this down now because notice how that's 2 again. Okay, let me dollar value this. Oh, dollar value these 2 as well. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. This is the column you're going to enter in where it says per shares. That's your per shares column. Okay, that's your per shares column. Now I'm gonna add these up because this is where it asks you to total equals the sum of this column here. So it'll be $12 here. Now we got to get our percentage over here as well. So how we do this one is we go, so we didn't pay out anything. Okay, no common shares over. So that's why if you went equals 0 divided by 100,000, you're going to get 0. Equals 0 divided by 100,000 shares, nothing. Equals 5,000 divided by those 100,000 shares. See these shares right here. Okay, equals 60,000 divided by these 100,000 shares up here. And this is our common stock, equals 90,000 divided by 100,000 shares equals 125 divided by 100,000 shares. Okay, let me dollar value these. And I need to sum this up, equals SUM of this whole column right there. So 280. Okay. Now that's filling in the table for part one. Part two, number two is going to look like this. It's saying this is my average. So my average is going to equal 12. Oh, wrong spot. My average is going to equal 12, which is this value right here, divided by my 6 years, because I'm doing an average, and then we're going to get that equal. So that's going to equal 12 divided by 6. Okay, this column right here, total. All right, that's that part. For part two, that's average annual dividend for preferred. Okay, in fact, let me put that so you can see the connection. Where is my sheet? Okay, here we go. That's part. Okay, now, next one, we're going to go 280 divided by 6 as well. That's going to give us our average as well for our common stock. So that's going to equal this 280 divided by 6. So this is going to give us 47 cents. And that 47 cents is going to be our average annual dividend for common. Okay, so let me put that on there so that way you can see the connections. All right, I don't know why that changed. So that's part two. Part three, it's going to look like this. Okay, we take this value here, these two values here that we calculated. Okay, so I'm going to say our preferred and our common. Okay, so what we're going to do is this value here, we're going to go 2 divided by, remember up here it's in our example, it says $120 per share, assuming the market. Actually, let me just copy and paste that so you can see the connection. Okay, let me put that in here. Okay, and let me merge this and wrap the text. Okay, that way you could, come on. Okay, let's put it right here. And let me wrap the text. Actually, let me pull this down a little bit. Okay, so what this is saying is, come on. Let's get this down some. So what this is saying is $120 for preferred stock. Okay, so I'm going to look at my preferred, and I'm going to go 2 divided by 120, because that's what my preferred shares are, the market value. And that's what I'm going to get my equal. So it's going to go 2 divided by 120 equals 2 divided by 120. So then when we dollar value that, oh no, this is a percentage because it's asking for percent. And so 1.67. Now our common as well. Now our common is $25. So that's the market value. So I'm going to go 0.47 divided by $25, and that's how we're going to get this calculation. So it's going to equal 0.47, 0.47 divided by 25. Okay, so 1.88. Make this a percentage. You need to add some. So 1.88. Let me see if it's, oh, good, we're okay. So that's what it's going to look like. And these percentage, when you calculate that, will go into your percentages of preferred stock. Okay. All right. Well, if you have any questions, that's kind of how you do problem number 5. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay.